Hello, Terry. How you feeling on this Fat Tuesday?
Feel pretty good, yeah. Although I guess we're going to have a bunch of rain coming in, especially Southern California. They already canceled Friday's races at Santa Anita because of the forecast.
So, another one of those, what do they call them, like river storms or something?
Yeah, it's supposed
to
be like,
rain rivers or whatever they're called.
2 to 4 inches in 2 days, so that's a lot.
Yeah, we're supposed to get some sort of crazy weather around here too, with rain and ice and all sorts of different things tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So, it's a spring weather. What are you going to do, right?
That's right.
Indeed. Well, hopefully what we can do today is we can pick some winners at Parx where it's sunny, I think, and warm. I think the track is listed as fast, not a whole lot of late scratches to throw us for a loop. So that's a big plus for this day so far anyway.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, right. Last night on the Horse Center, myself and Julie, we had on Crystal Pickett. It's a very fun conversation, covered a whole lot of issues, and they even veered off a little bit into the, I don't want to say the dirty side of the sport, but the unclean side of the sport in terms of using chemicals and what we can do about this. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, make sure you do. It's right here on Horse Racing Radar TV. The best way to make sure you don't miss anything, Terry, is to do what?
You should subscribe to YouTube, and hit the little bell so you get notification, gives thumbs up there. And you should go to all of our platforms, our social platforms, such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Horse Race, the number 2 day. Give us a like on Facebook and thumbs up on all of those.
Yes, indeed. And tell your friends about us, too. Tonight, we're going to have on Raylu Gutierrez. So it should be a fun show. Sean should make his return tonight with Julie. You can see right there on our Facebook page. Sean keeps you up to speed with everything that's going on, as well as on Twitter. So we've been also releasing some new video footage. Jamie and Willie Martinez were down at the fairgrounds for Risen Star. So we're releasing some of that. And I promise you, I'm working on a pretty good one for Tampa Bay Downs, a really good behind the scenes early in the morning over at the practice facilities and then off to the track in the afternoon. It was a long day, but certainly a fun day. So let's indeed make sure that we check that out. Again, the best way to make sure you don't miss anything is to hit the subscribe button while you're here and tell your friends about us. We do a lot of interesting things here. One of the things that we do that's most interesting, Terry, is make picks.
That's right.
First race today at the Parx Ben Salem track is 1 mile, 70 yards. It is an optional, claiming $16,000 for a purse of $28,000. I see this card the opposite of what I saw yesterday. Yesterday, I saw the card in the beginning being a little bit clearer and in the backside a little bit more competitive. Today, I think the front half of the card is a little bit more open and the back half of the card perhaps where you can start to isolate a few horses. How did you see it?
Yeah, I saw the same thing. I thought it was a little bit less competitive. So I did most of my bets in the last part because I was looking for some good finishes and some good winnings there. So,
yeah, one pick away yesterday from running the whole card. If I had gotten that, I had mentioned that race 9 I thought was an all. I had enough money to do it. I should have probably alled that leg, and I would have hit that late pick 4 as well. Oh, well.
Yeah.
But still had a nice, profitable day.
You did.
1 mile, 70 yards. The profile of a winner favors tactical speed. 30% of those horses go wire to wire. There is a strong rail bias, so Louis Law could have an advantage here. 2 and 3 also get a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7, they run to par. 8 and out, there's a penalty. And one quick note, we talk about this regularly, but I want to make sure that we point things out as we go along. It is optional claiming, as you can see here. And how do you know in the program which horses are available to be claimed or not? There'll be a dollar amount right here. Let's see if we can find one. Hopefully there's one available today in today's race. Does not look like there is, but if there were, it would say $16,000 right where that yellow marker is, the highlight is. We do 1,000 simulations, Terry, to see what we think fair odds might be. That's based upon speed figures. And then we use the early speed numbers to 1,000 simulations to see who's going to have the lead when the gates open. Tell us what the simulation's telling you.
Well, the theory looks like it's maybe going to reach that quarter pole vet first, but it's got some competition with that 4 and that 2. And then as far as overlays go, it looks like the 2 has a really nice overlay. It's supposed to be just over even money, and it's 3-1 on the morning line.
Yeah, and the 3 horse looks like it's about fairly priced, maybe a little bit lower than it should be on the morning line odds, but I would suspect that it's pretty close. We also put together what we call the Way to the Winner Circle worksheet, and this allows us to get a sense of how the race might play out based upon the horse's winning style. So the E horses want to go wire to wire. EPs can go wire to wire, or they can co-pilot, usually within 2 lengths of the leader early on. Pressure horses, they co-pilot and are usually about within 2 lengths of the leader at the quarter-mile marker. PCs are your versatile ones. They can close, they can pressure, they can be on the lead, they can do a lot. And then your traditional closers, those are the ones that like to try to go from worst to first. We square off those that we think, according to more recent numbers, have the best chance to be on the lead. That's the 6, has a plus 11 advantage through 4 furlongs. So this guy might be one to have to chase down in the end, Terry. The 1 horse, that pressure closer, does have the most late pace in here and is going to be sandwiched between the horses that want to be probably close to the front and those in the back. These guys a lot of times get a good trip. Who do you think's getting the best trip today?
Well, I like that 2 horse, French Burl. He came in from Laurel Park and ran second versus similar in his first race at Parx Racing. He only lost by 2 lengths, and he earned the highest last speed rating. And then number 3 is my second pick. It was the Devil's Idea. He finished in the money in 5 out of the last 6 races at Parx Racing. And he finished third in his last race against similar horses. And then number 6 that you were referring to, Caddy's Uncle. He ran second versus similar in his last race and has a high percentage winning jockey, and he's my third choice. My long shot is number 1, Louis Law. He finished third versus similar in his last race. The rail post is winning at 26% clip, and he has the best dirt speed among today's starters. And I'm going to play a little dollar daily double. I'm going to use the 2 and the 3 with the 1, 2, 5.
Race number 1 is going to kick off for me just like it kicked off for you. The 2 for me, French Burl, top last race speed figure, appears to be getting better race by race by race. Simulator says you got to have him. All right, so we'll take him at 3-1. We'll see if we get that. Number 3, it was the Devil's Idea at Parx, 6 times out, has a couple of seconds and a trio of thirds at the distance, 4 times out, no wins, a second and 3/3. So looks like this horse doesn't want to win, but wants to finish second or third. So we'll put him second today. Number 1, Louis Law, is that lone PC horse that we showed you on the Way to the Winner Circle. Probably going to catch a good trip between the pressure horses and the closers. And then finally, number 6, Caddy's Uncle, does have that really big early speed advantage through the first 4 furlongs, has a nice maintenance workout between races, and this is the classic third start after a layoff. It's a little too deep for me here to do anything other than a trifecta. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, over to 2, 3, over to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. I've hit a lot of pretty nice trifectas lately, Terry, and you got to stick to what's working, right? Isn't it what the saying? If it's not broken, don't fix it. Race number 2 is a maiden claiming. This one is 6 furlongs. The purse is $26,000. And at 6 furlongs, tactical speed is the way to get home first. Although 34% of the horses go wire to wire, there is an outside to in bias with 8 and out being the best. There's 8 horse up in here today, Terry. Speed being a factor. It's not the end all be all, Terry, but you do have an outside horse that might get to the front and might not give it up.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Now, these are babies, so they don't have a lot of history. So the 8 has showed the most speed in his 3 career races. So you know he's got speed. You're not sure about the other ones, though. But the 1 and the 7 show that they may have a little speed, too. And then as far as overlays go, that 1 supposed to is an overlay. It's going to be it's supposed to be a little over even money, and it's going to be 3-1 as far as what the morning line odds are. And then the 4 horse is supposed to be like 1.5-1, and it's 4-1 on the morning line. So it's a good overlay.
Yeah, scary that neither one of us have the 4 in there. You mentioned these are babies, but they still have given us a sense of how they want to run so far. Because this is a maiden race, you see some arrows in here. This means it's running in flat. Down are the horses that are dropping in class. And over here, we have a couple of horses making their first start. So you're not quite sure what they're going to bring to the table. So far, the 8 horse is the one that showed the most interest in going forward. We saw that in the simulator. 3 horse probably sits right behind him. But you got these horses over here that also showed some early pace. The 1 and the 7 relative to everybody else when you look at the internal race numbers. So I think you'll see the 1 and the 7 move forward along with the 8, Terry. These maiden claimers are kind of tough sometimes. How did you rank them?
Okay, well, I like to start with, I like the number 5, Aztec Queen is my first choice. You know, she ran second in her debut race as a heavily bet favorite, but she has a trainer who wins 27% of the races when bringing back a beaten favorite to race again, and they added Lasix this time. Then number 2, my second choice, Bionic Cat. She is a first-time starter whose dam has 3 winners from 3 starters, and one of those is a stakes winner. Her breeding suits today's distance. Number 1 is my third pick. She's has the highest last speed rating, drops in class today or jockey in the last 7 days. Has finished in the money in 7 out of 8 races, winning 3 of those starts. And then my long shots, number 6, Dawn's Last Call. She is a first-time starter whose dam has 3 winners from 3 starters, and she has a high percentage winning jockey, and I'm going to pass on any bets here.
In race number 2, Lady Sicaria, the rail horse, is going to get my top nod. Did run the top last race, speed figure, and dropping in class. I like that combination. It is making its second career start, so let's see if the horse can improve. Hopefully it does. Number 2, Bionic Cat. I'm pinning my hopes on a January 3rd work of 4 furlongs and 49. It was the 3rd fastest of 63. We'll see if this first starter can get that done. Got a nice first-time starter yesterday, too, the 2 horse in the second race. So that played out pretty good for me. Number 7, what was actually the 4th race? Blue Sky Tune is the only maiden special weight to maiden claiming dropper in the field. That is the biggest drop in horse racing, as they say. 25% winning angle on that drop for trainer Luis Linder Jr. versus 16% overall. So big-time alpha scores for Louis Linder. Finally, number 5, Aztec Queen was bet down to 3-2 in its debut, getting first-time Lasix, another with room to be better in the second career start. I'm going to bet a 50-cent trifecta, 1, 2, 7 over the 1, 2, over the 1, 2, 5, 7, and 8, which brings us now to race number 3 at Parx. Race 3 is 6.5 furlongs. It is an allowance, $25,000. The purse is $35,000. The kind of horse that fits the winner's circle at 6.5 furlongs does have early speed. About a third of them go wire to wire. In this case, hot spots on the rail that gets a little bit of a discount. 2 and 7, they play fair, 2 through 7, and then 8 and out. A little bit of a bonus, Terry. So in race number 3, with a third going wire to wire, we haven't found any scratches yet, but we still have some speed in here to deal with.
That's right. That 5's got lots of speed, most of the speed in this race. And I would not be shocked if it's quarter pole in front. The 3 gives it a little bit of competition and also a little bit from the 4 and the 6. And then the 4 is the biggest overlay here. It's supposed to be just under 2-1, and they got it as 4.5 to 1 on the morning line.
Yeah, once again, I'm shying away from the horses in the simulator. I hope that my handicapping is better than the simulator today. Our way to the winner's circle for race number 3 looks a little bit like this. You see the 5 horse over here by itself on the front, lone E horse. Everybody's looking for him. Does have the early speed to be out there. So I'd expect you'll see the 5 get up in there. It could get a little bit of company from the 3. Got a lot of horses in this PC column. So there's a lot of what I would say versatility in this race. Can go a bunch of different ways. For a horse that I don't have in there is the lone pressure horse, though it'll be interesting to see because these over here have a little bit more ways to win than the 4 does. I think that's probably why I left it out of my picks, Terry. I see that you didn't leave it out of yours, though.
No, I like the number 6 as my first choice. He finished in the money in 8 out of his last 10 races at Parx Racing, so he likes the track. He won 3 of those starts, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 1, Hot Pot's my second choice. He has won 2 races in a row, so he's going for a hat trick now. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey who has won in the last 14 days 3 out of 7 starts. Then number 2, Dr. Doom. My third choice ran second in his last race, has a high percentage winning trainer. I like that 4 as my long shot, Romantic Gamble. He is coming from Penn National after winning his last race there to try Parx Racing, and has a trainer who wins 20% of the time when he ships a horse in to run. And I'm going to skip on a bet here too.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't put the 4 in there. I'm not a big fan of the Parx, the Penn to Parx shippers. Horses don't do that well usually. Sometimes, more often than not, I have found they don't. Number 6, Unimpeachable. Ran better pace numbers through the first half mile. As another horse I expect to see do some improving in the second start after a layoff. This guy, second off the break, now 9 times, 3 wins, 2 seconds, and 3/3. That's its record at Parx. Done pretty well there. Number 3, Iconic Legacy. It's an all or nothing horse. Hit the track 11 times, won 3, didn't do anything else. But the interesting thing is all 3 of those W's came at just 5 races in the distance. So absolutely the right distance for Iconic Legacy. Number 5, Crafty Jack. This one's very likely to be on the front. Will be hard to pass if he can hold it into the stretch, that lead. As you notice in his past performances, when he has the lead in the stretch, he continues on to the finish line. Finally, number 1, Hot Pot, winner of 2 in a row, and up to speed numbers in both of those efforts. I'm going to do a 50-cent trifecta too with the 3-5-6 over to 3-6 of the 1, 3, 4 that Penn shipper, and the 5 and the 6 to close it out. Race number 4, Mr. Terry at Parx. It is 5.5 furlongs. We didn't see this yesterday. It is $7,500, non-winners of 4 lifetime. That's the wrong number right there. Somehow I got this all mixed up, Terry. I got to get this corrected real quick. I somehow deleted a number yesterday while we were in the middle of the show. But anyway, race number 4, 7,500, non-winners of 4 lifetime. The purse is 24,000, so a nice purse for this group of horses. At 5.5 furlongs, as you can imagine, speed, tactical speed is the way, although 40%, so big number going wire to wire. There is a big inside 3 bias. 4 through 7, there's a penalty. 8 and out, it does play fair. Speed is a dominant factor here. Terry, Champion by Design, had a little bit of it, but he's not in here today.
That's right. The speed in here now is the 2 and the 3, and I see them going head to head all the way to that quarter pole. And then as far as the overlay goes, that 2 looks like a really nice overlay. It's supposed to be less than even money, and it's listed as 4-1 on the morning lots.
Yeah, indeed. It looks like that 2 is going to be 1, the 2 and the 3, according to our Way to the Winner's Circle worksheet. Both e-horses, both that want to be on the front, both will be on the front, according to their recent pace numbers. The 5 horse, which would have been a factor in here, scratching out, not involved. These the 1 and the 7 as your 2 pressure closer types with a little bit of front speed in there maybe as well. 4 and the 6 are your closers, but what's interesting on the closers is you don't see them having the most late pace. In fact, that belonged to the 5 and the 1. In a race shape like this, I expect you'll probably see the 2 and the 3 get to the front and maybe one of them go wire to wire. What do you think?
I agree with that, and I think the 2's the one's going to go wire to wire. Positively awesome. He has an early foot, so the shorter distance will help, and he has the highest speed figure at today's distance. My second choice is number 6, Go for the Kill. He's won a race at Parx Racing, has the highest last race speed rating, and the trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days. Been in the money 3 out of 3 starts with 2 wins and a second. Then I like number 1. His dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. The rail post is winning at a 20% clip. He has a high percentage winning trainer and this trainer has won 37% of the races when he brings back a beaten favorite to race again. And this horse switches to a high percentage jockey. Number 4, Gushing Oil, is my long shot. He is a closer who ran second versus similar in his last race, using this same running style, and switches to a high percent winning jockey. I'm going to play a pick 4. I'm going to use the 2, 4, 5, and 6 with 1, 7, and 9. With the 2, 7, with the 2, 3, 6.
Using a lot of your budget on that one, huh?
Yes.
Indeed. We have a $100 budget. Go to the track with, and it's all we get to spend. And Terry won't let you go even 50 cents over. Ask Charles. But then Terry lent him the 50 cents. So it was very kind of him. I like in this race, I'm echoing a little bit, Terry. Number 6, Go for the Kill. does have the top last race speed figure, and I think it has a chance to go higher in the second race after a layoff. Number 2, Positively Awesome, going to be on the front, or at least one of the pace setters at Parx 2 times with a couple of thirds in there. Cutting back from 7 furlongs could be the deal maker here to help them stop from fading at the end. Number 1, I'm a Pharaoh, is the first off the claim for trainer Cathal Lynch, a 29% angle for the trainer. Then finally, number 3, Mahomes Money. Apparently he's got a lot of it because he gets a lot of late calls in the playoffs. He's spreading it around. Tough call over the 4 here, but I'm going to take the one that should be closer to the lead out of the gates. But I'm going to do a pick 4 here, Terry, because I feel like I wanted to put 5 horses in here. There's only 6 horses in the race now with the scratch. So I just went with all in the first leg of the pick 4. So I know I'm going to make it to the second leg. Then with the 1-7, it's singling up the 2 in race number 6. And then in race number 7, going with the 2 and the 3. So I am definitely moving on to leg 2 in race number 4. Hopefully we can make it all the way to the end on that one, Terry. Race 5, we go back to 1 mile and 70 yards. This one is a claiming for $7,500. Non-winners in 1 in a year. Purse is $21,000. As we mentioned at the top of the show, for 1 mile and 70 yards, tactical speed, although 3 out of 10 do take them from gate to wire. You do have a strong rail bias, something that my train could benefit from. 2 and 3 also get a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7 are fair 8 and out. Get penalized, Terry. And in race number 5, looks like we have 1 scratch, Skillful, going to be on the sidelines, and 1 really fast one.
That's right. That 2's got lots and lots of speed. I really expect the 2 to be at the quarter pole and ahead. The only 2 horses that may do all right are the 1 and the 7. And then the 8 looks like it's got the most overlaid. It's supposed to be just under 3-1 morning line, and morning line odds has it at 8-1.
Indeed. So it looked like a little bit of value, perhaps, with the Magnetron horse. Our way to the winner's circle in this competitive race, in race number 5. Let me page down here for a moment. The 4 horse is out. We don't have a true front runner, although the 1 and the 2 are your EP types, so they can, either one of them could take this mantle. I think you'll probably see the 2, as we mentioned, be the one that does take the initiative when the gates open. 7 horse is another one that might participate in the early speed. If you just kind of box them off, you'll see that in this race, it's not a lot of the horses are not forwardly placed. Most of them want to be middle and back. Again, I think in this race shape, it could favor early speed. Terry, how do you see it playing out at the end?
All right. Well, I see that number 9 horse, What's to Blame, win this race. He ran second versus similar in his last race. Has a jockey who in the last 14 days has won 3 out of 12 starts with 2 seconds and 3/3, and has a good workout on February 15th. I like the 7 as my second choice, finished in the money in 5 out of the last 6 races, winning 2 of those. Has the highest last speed rating, and he has a trainer who wins 21% of the time when bringing back a beaten favorite. And then number 1, My Train, switches to a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and the rail post is winning at that 26% clip. He has a good workout on February 15th. And then I'm going to play the long shot, number 5, Lookout Lambo. He switches to high percent winning trainer and jockey. And no bets in this race.
The 1 horse, My Train, on that rail, but it is also the combination of Ruben Silvera and Jamie Ness. Very strong combination at Parx. You always have to consider. This one got claimed last time out, and now Jamie Ness is dropping them, which is a 35% winning angle for Ness, which is better than he wins anyway. So it's an alpha angle for a person that has alpha results. Number 7, Spites the Red, is a very consistent performer. Did run better fractions last time out at 1 mile and 70 yards compared to 1 mile in the previous start. Number 9, What's to Blame, up the speed number in the last 3 races with better pace numbers through the first half mile last time out. Usually a sign of continued improvement. Then finally, number 8, Magnetron. This is the lone P horse. I think is one's going to get a good trip in here, and the simulator says you got to have them. I think the 2 best horses in here, though, are the 1 and the 7. So I'm going to do a 50-cent trifecta, 1-7 over the 1-7, Terry's 9, and then the 1, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So really going outside, despite the fact that there's a penalty out there. I just love to go against the biases, Terry. Well, let's start prepping for race number 6 because they're about, let's see real quick, Terry, if they're going to get in the gates for race number 1, how close they are. And you know what? Race 1's about to kick off. So let's just go to race 1. Here are our picks for race number 1. And then we'll tell you how the race plays out. Terry has a double 2-3 with the 1, 2, 5. I'm going to play trifecta 1, 2, 3 over the 2, 3 over the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Right now, the 2 horse, the one Terry and I both have pegged as our top pick, is the favorite at 1-1. The next favorite is the 6 horse, Caddy's Uncle, at 7-2. The 3 horse, It Was the Devil's Idea, is your third favorite right now at I think it was 4-1. So they're all in. Now just waiting for the button to be pressed. The gates are open. The dirt is flying. And the 5 horse right now looks like it's going to show a little bit of initiative. Lucky Macho Man. But the 4 horse, as suspected, It Was the Devil's Idea, has taken command. The 5 horse is pushing to 6 wide. So Caddy's Uncle going to get a very difficult trip, it looks like to me. The 3 horse, It Was the Devil's Idea, and is now tucked in second between the right behind the 4. The 5 and the 6 still running wide to the outside. Caddy's Uncle. Down on the rail, you got the 1 horse, Louis' Law, followed by the 2 horse, French Burrow, as they go through the opening quarter. Probably a little on the quick side for 1 mile and 70 yards for the 4 horse at 23-3. 3 horses moved to the outside. It Was the Devil's Idea. 4 horse still setting the pace. The 1 horse on the rail, Louis' Law, getting a little bit of company from the 6 horse, Caddy's Uncle, who's been wide throughout most of the race, has a chance to kind of move in. So it does look like that wide trip is starting to affect them a little bit. You now have the 6 fading a little bit. The 3 horse right now, the 5 horse making a big move up on the rail, though the 4 continues to lead here, Terry. We can see if anybody's going to make a move. The 3 horse looks like it wants to make up some ground here on the 4 horse. Going to challenge him a little bit. After getting to slow it down in the opening half, went in 48. The 1 horse on the rail is making a pretty strong move. I think it's going to open up wide for him as the 4 horse begins to tire. The 3 horse is taking command on the outside. You do have the 1 horse trying to fight up between the rail and the 4. The 5 horse on the outside making an aggressive move. Question is, can he get by the 4 horse? Right now, it looks to me like it's going to go 3, 1. Oh, that's the 2 horse that made the move on the outside. It's going to go 3, 1, and 2. Screwing up my trifecta, but your double is still alive with the 3 horse going off, Terry, at 5-1. Just nice. like we started yesterday.
That's right. That's nice too. I like that.
Where I got knocked out of the trifecta and you stay for the double. Yep. Let's finish up race number 6 now, Terry. Going back to race number 6, which we talked about being a race that is mile on the main track. 1 mile, maiden special weight, 55,000 for the purse of 55 grand. This one, Terry, is kind of interesting because you want to talk about an early speed bias. 59%, so almost 60% go wire to wire. There is a pretty strong inside 3 bias with a special emphasis on that 1 horse. 4 through and out, play a little bit under par. Again, you got a lot of babies in here, horses that really haven't, may not babies, a lot of inexperienced horses. So as far as our pace is concerned, there's a little bit of a art into putting this together, Terry, but it does look like that 2 horse, based upon what they've done so far, is going to be the one to catch.
Yeah, and that 2 horse has got the most speed in here, it looks to me. And like you said, they're inexperienced horses, so you really never know what's going to happen. But it looks like the 3 will give it a little bit of competition. And that 2 horse is supposed to be less than even money. And they say it's going to be 1.5 to 1. So that might be a good choice for make some. If it comes out at 1.5 to 1, you're going to do fine. So
yeah, that was my single as we went through the pick 4 there in the pick 4 that we had done earlier. Looking at our way to the winner's circle worksheet, you do see the 3 and the 5. They have shown that they want to jump forward in the races that they've run so far. Although the 2 horse, this does have a +8 early speed advantage through 4 furlongs, so a half a mile, and also has a plus advantage if you put together the early speed and the back half of the race. A lot of times that's hard to overcome. The 4-horse does have the most late pace. In fact, does have an advantage over the rest of the field of at least 5 points. Of course, you got that first-time starter on the very strong rail, the number 1 horse, Terry. As you mentioned, a lot of questions to answer here. How did you answer them?
Yeah, well, it looks like to me in this race, there's the 2 and the 3. Is that what you? Oh no, you want me to go back to my picks? Okay, I like the number 2, and I am not going to try to pronounce that name. It's my best.
Valentine, I think that's probably how you pronounce it.
Valentine. Anyway, it's my best bet of the day. He ran second versus similar in his only start after being well bet. Has the highest last speed rating and the best start speed among today's starters. And then number 7, Marvelous Moon Dance. He's been knocking at the door after finishing either second or third in his last 4 races. Number 5 is my third pick, Windsor Gold. Has finished in the money in 2 out of 3 career races and has a high percentage winning trainer. The long shot is number 1, Winged Foot. He is a first-time starter trained by Jamie Ness and jockey Ruben Severas in the irons, and he has a good workout on February 15th. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 5, and I'm going to single the 2, and then I'm going to use the 2, 3, 4, 6 with the 1, 3, 4, with the 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, and then
it looks like you have the
10.
2 there. Did you want the 3 there, or because it?
No, it's the 2.
Okay, yeah, because you had said 3. Just want to make sure we're clear on that. So 1,
Yeah,
2, 3. So I'm talking about in the 4th leg.
Oh, in the 4th leg, which is the 9th race.
Right. You said 1, 3, and then the sheet says 1, 2. So just want to make sure that we have that.
Oh, it's 1, 3. 1, 3.
All right. Let me just change that to make sure we get that right.
Okay, and then $10 to win on the 2.
Hopefully he goes off at 8 to 5, like the morning line suggests. In the 6th race, for me, I agree, Terry. The 2 horses, the one to beat. I did single him in my pick 4 before. Valentine does have that really strong early race edge at 4 furlongs. So, you know, when it's 60% horses going wire to wire, that's a pretty good edge to have, and also owns the best combination of early speed and late speed. Marvelous Moon Dance at Parx 7 times. Has no wins, but has 5 seconds in the 3rd. So, you know, he'll be involved at the end. Number 1, Winged Foot. Some very good, consistent workouts on the rail. 28% winners coming from the rail. Finally, number 5, Windsor Gold, been well bet in each of its 3 starts. Let's see if it can live up to the bettor's hopes today. I'm going to again go back to my trifecta, the 2 and the 7 with the 1, 2, 7, with the 1, 2, 4, 5, and 7. We move off, speaking of 7, to lucky race number 7. That one, Terry, is going to be 5.5 furlongs again on the main track. And as we've mentioned before, 5.5 furlongs on the Ben Salem track does favor horses with tactical speed, although 40% go wire to wire. I think based upon a lot of the biases today, we could see a lot of horses get to the front and just stay there. Kind of what happened in race number 1 there. There is a little bit of a inside 3 bias. 4 through 7 penalized. 8 and out are fair. Terry Ford, lucky race number 7. We don't have any scratches, luckily. And we do have one that looks like it's going to be faster than the rest.
We do. That 7 does, that outside horse. But, you know, there's a lot of speed in this race, so you just don't know who's going to really get there. So you got the 7 with the 3, 2, and a 4. Now, as far as overlays go, it looks like the 3 is a really nice overlay. And also the 7 horses is really, really good. If it's morning 7-related odds says 2 to 1, morning line is 8 to 1.
Yeah, maybe we can. Maybe that one can provide some value. Unfortunately, it's not in either one of our pick 4s. It looks like. As far as the way to the winner's circle worksheet goes for race number 7, you do have quite a few of the horses that want to be. Again, if you box them off and you just kind of look at them a little bit here, you'll see that most of them want to be middle front. So this one could get a little bit hot. Can get a little bit Nelly, a little bit hot in here. The 7 and the 2 do look like they have the most early speed, so they'll be competitive on the way out. This 3 horse might sit right behind this group right in here, has a plus 11 late pace advantage. So if they go blazing and the 3 horse sits right off the back of them, it could be very difficult to hold that one off, Terry. What do you say?
I mute myself, and I say that the number 3, Hide the Ransom, will be the first horse, the win line. He has the highest last race speed rating. He's actually tied with another horse. Drops in class, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 2 is my second choice. He drops in class today, has the highest last speed rating, tied with the horse above, the 3, I mean, and the shorter distance should help. Number 6, Gravel Road's my third pick. He drops in classic today also, and his speed rating has improved in each of his last 3 races. And then number 4, Dang Nabbit is my long shot. He won his last race, likes Parx racing, finishing the money 42% of the races, winning 14% of those starts, and the distance, no problem. I'm going to play a pick 4 here. I'm going to use the 2, 3, 4, 6 with the 1, 3, 4, with the 3, 6, 7, with the 10.
So back again here. Now you have the 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7 on the pick 4. So you have the 2, 3, 4, 6 with the 1, 3, 4, and then you have 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7 in there. So that's
yes.
How do you want that? Is that so? You
Yeah.
but you want the 2 there or the 3 there? Because last time I think we changed it to the 3 horse.
Yeah, it needs to be the 3.
All right. Just want to make sure we get that right. So 1, 3, 5, 6, and 7. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 3, 5, 6, and 7. All right. Because I wouldn't want the 2 horse to win and then boot it out of there, right? Or not having the 3 horse in the picks and that comes home first, which could happen. I mean, I've seen that happen to me many times. I know when I've put a ticket in and I thought I bet the 7 and I bet the 6 instead, and I see the 7 win and I'm all happy. Then I look at my ticket and I see it's the 6, and it's depressing. All right. So in race number 7 for me, I'm going to start off with Suneo, the 2 horse. Does have that early speed advantage through the opening half mile. We'll see if it can take it all the way to the finish line after making a big move on the turn. Number 3, Hide the Ransom, does have the top last race speed figure, dropping in class. I do like that. 3 times out in short sprints, has a win, a place, and a show. So 100% in the money. Number 6, Gravel Road. The last 2 races were good enough, I think, to beat the rest of the horses in this field. Maybe not the top 2. Finally, number 7, Calculated Breeze, should be on the gas from go. Dropping a furlong in this race compared to last might be enough to get the difference done. And the simulator says you got to have him. I want to say the 4's name anyway, Dag Nabbit. Should have put him in there just to have an opportunity to throw that word out there. I'm going to do a pick 4 as well, the 2, 3 with the 1, the 3, and the 8 in race number 8. Race number 9, 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. I feel like that one, like you, Terry, is pretty much wide open. But I see 2 horses on the back end, the 7 and the 10. Race 8 is next on our agenda. It will be a 7 furlong race for a maiden special weight purse of $55,000. And the purse, of course, is $55,000 as well. 7 furlongs, early speed, 42% lead from gate to wire again. So you want some horses that got some gas when the gates open. The rail is fair. 2 and 3 have a small edge. 4 through 7, a small penalty. And then 8 and out from post positions are fairish. In race number 8, Terry, we do have a scratch. It's a pity. That really wasn't going to factor that much either in odds or a little bit maybe in the early pace. The honor looks like it belongs to Kaiki.
It does.
Kaiki, I don't know how you pronounce that one.
Cake? I don't know.
Maybe cake. Anyway. That's probably a good one. Cake. Yeah. It's an interesting way to spell it.
It is. Well, that 5 looks like it's got a lot of speed, but I think there's going to be a real race to that quarter pole. So between the 5 and the 3. And also the overlay, the 3 has a nice overlay. No, I'm sorry, it doesn't. It's about even. So the 5, the 4 has the nice overlay. It's supposed to be like 2 to 1 morning line, simulated odds, and it's 4.5 to 1 morning line.
But it does look like if you get 2 to 1 on the 3, it looks like you're still catching a little bit of value there because 3 to 2 looks like about the right number there. Our way to the winner's circle for race number 8, the 7 horse is scratched out, which again, if you look at the race shape and you box it off, you only got 2 horses that want to be forwardly placed. Everybody else wants to be maybe middle back, probably more closers, although the 5 horse is a left arrow horse, meaning it's one that typically in most races gets off to a little bit of a slow start. I know it's maiden, so a lot can change from race to race. It's probably going to move forward here. The 8 horse might be the wild card in here as a first-time starter, although the 3 horse, when you put together early speed and late speed, has an advantage, so could be on the front, could be tough to catch. Terry, is anybody going to run down the 3 in your view?
All right. Well, in my view, no. I think the one will be there. Cole's Conundrum. He
Cole's
ran
Conundrum?
Conundrum. Oh well.
Conundrum.
Yeah. He ran
Try it. Come
second.
on, 3 times fast. You know we got to do it.
Conundrum.
Mhm.
He ran second in his only start as the heavily bet favorite, and has a high percentage winning trainer, Robert Reed Jr., who wins 33% of the time when he brings back a beaten favorite to race again, which is pretty nice. He switches to a high percentage winning jockey, so he's got a lot of boxes marked. Number 3, Tatum. He has finished in the money in 2 of 3 career starts, has the highest last speed rating. He's tied with another horse, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starter. He's my second pick. My third pick is number 4, One Bite. He should improve while returning to a sprint. Lasix is added today, and the trainer in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 3 starts. Then my long shot is number 6, My Imagination. Finished third versus similar in his last race and has the highest last race speed rating. He's tied with the horse that I was talking about above. And I'm not going to bet here because I only have a little bit of money left. I want to leave it for the last race.
So I'm going to start off with the first time starter here, first to last. You have Ruben Silvera riding a $175,000 first time starter that they paid another $10,000 for the mare to mate. And that's running at Parx. You don't see that often, that a horse that high of a price. Usually they'll take those horses up the road to New York and see if maybe they can compete there. And if you look at the cost of other horses, all the other horses in the field combined, the 8 horses just $12,000 less than all others. You look at the workouts, they're only okay. I think the trainer, if I remember correctly, Scott Lake, I have a feeling they're sandbagging on the works. Keep an eye on the 8's odds. If it gets bet down, that horse is going to be really live. Number 3, Tatum, on paper, looks like she should be tough to beat. But lately, I've seen so many of these horses that look on paper, especially in these races that you don't have a lot of experience, come out, they fire, but they finish second. Number 1, Cole's Conundrum, missed as the favorite in its debut. Trainer Robert Reed Jr. does rebound 22 out of 66 times the next time around the track with a beaten favorite. But this horse is going to need a better start if it wants to compete at this field today. And then finally, number 4, One Bite. If you can run back to the Aqueduct Forum just 2 races ago and gets any benefit from first-time Lasix, I think that would be more than good enough to catch the W here. I'm going to do a 50-cent trifecta, 1, 3, 8 with the 3, 8, and then close it out with the 1, 3, 4, 5, and 8. In race number 9, we don't have any scratches, but they are going to run 6.5 furlongs. 6.5 furlongs does favor early speed with 32% going wire to wire, Mr. Terry. As far as the post positions are concerned, there's, again, a little bit of a rail discount. So Moon Boots might have on some concrete boots when the gates open. 2 through 7, play fair. And 8 and out, there is a little bit of a bonus. Our simulator for race number 9 shows that there's a couple horses that are going to battle for the front.
That's right. It looks like the 3 and the 5, maybe the 7 are all going to go for the front, but I think that 5 is going to beat them to the quarter pole. And then as far as the overlays go, the 3 is a nice overlay. It's supposed to be a little bit over 2-1 simulated odds. It's going to be 4-1 on the morning line. And then the 5 horse is a little bit of an quite a bit of overlay. He's supposed to be close to 4-1. He's going to be double that odds at 8-1 on the morning line.
Way to the winner's circle. 2 more times, actually. A very balanced race here for this race. You got a couple horses that want to be on the front, a couple that'll be in the middle, a trio in the back. Again, I think based upon the numbers, the 3 and the 5 are your likely pace setters in here. They also have the best combination of early speed and late speed for these youngsters. One thing to note is all of the horses in here basically have some very similar late juice coming down to the wire. I think that will give the advantage to the horses here that are likely to be more forwardly placed. Unless, of course, they go too fast, Terry. How do you think they're going to go when they hit the finish line?
Well, I think that number 7, that's Story Sisters. That's Story's Sisters, I think.
That's Stony Sisters, maybe?
Stony Sisters?
That's Tony's sisters.
Oh, Tony's sister. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I should separate these so I can read them better. Anyway, she won her debut race at Parx Racing after being well bet in the debut and at today's business distance. I think she can repeat. And then number 6, Flashy Charge, drops in class today, switches to high percentage winning jockey. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and she has a good workout on February 15th. Number 3, Lassie's Notions, my third pick. She has finished in the money in her last 5 starts. Winning one of those, has a high percentage winning jockey. My long shot's the 5, Perfect Direction. Her best start speed is fastest among today's starters. She's actually tied with Flashy Charge, and she has a bullet workout on February 15th. And again, no bet because I'm saving it for the last race.
Terry's hanging on to that dough for the very last moment. Moon Boots, the number 1 horse, is going to get my top choice in race number 9. Won at this level 2 races ago, coming back off the sidelines today. And if you look back through the past performances, Moon Boots has come off the sidelines 3 times in its career and won 2 of them, including its debut. That's Tony's sister, Terry. That's how you pronounce that one. This guy won its debut with a nice late move. Trainer Alan Bedford follows the maiden win with another at 31% with a sparkling return on investment of $12.58. I'm a little cautious, though, about that's Tony's sister, Terry, because it did break its maiden race, kind of moving up, and it didn't do it with the top last race speed figure. That's what I'm looking for when horses come out of a maiden special weight or maiden win and then moving up in class. Number 3, Lassie's Notion. It's a little bit better in the first half mile of its last outing. But what I like in there is there's a maintenance workout between races. So the horse should be fit, more firm, and ready to go. Finally, number 5, Perfect Direction. It was a very tough call over the 4 for me in this spot, Terry. Flashed some speed in the last and then faded. There's a bullet workout in between races. So I suspect that you'll see the speed last longer for Perfect Direction today. I think this is a wide open race. So I'm going to do a $1 double, 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. And I'm going to close it out with the 2 best horses, I think, in race number 10, the 7 and the 10, which is the nightcap. And that race number 10, 7 furlongs. This is for a claiming price of $12,500, purse of $24,000, non-winners of 3 lifetime. Again, at 7 furlongs, Terry, 40% of them go wire to wire. So you got to have a lot of giddy up and go when the gates open. The rail is fair. 2 and 3 have a small edge. 4 through 7 get a penalty. 8 and out get a little bit of a fair run at it, Terry. In the last leg, we do have a scratch. Number 5, Fire's Finale. But we also have one in there that's going to be flying. Cristiano Ronaldo's dream will be to win the World Cup. Probably ain't going to happen now. He's got to sit back for the rest of his life and just cry that Messi got one.
That's right. Well, that 7, I think, is going to make it to the quarter pole pretty easily. So he's got the 10 that also has a little bit of speed, so he might contend with that 7. The 2 has got a little bit of quite a bit of overlay, 3-1 on the simulated odds, 8-1 on the morning line. And then the 7 has got another nice overlay, almost doubled to 4-1 on the morning line. And the 10 also is nice. It's just under 2-1, and it says that it's 3.5 to 1 on the morning line. So,
indeed, there's a lot of value here. This is got to be one of the strangest race shapes I think I've ever seen, Terry. You take a box here. Look at all of these closers. Boom, 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 boom. All of these horses want to be in the back and come forward at a distance and surface where speed matters. Maybe out of this group, the 2-horse might find its way forward. I think this could be a very slowish race. If that's the case, the 7-horse does have a +6 advantage through the first half mile. We saw in the simulator that it's likely to be the pace setter. If you put together early speed and late speed, it has a 9-point advantage over the rest of the field, tied with the 10. So I do think the 10-horse is going to be right behind the 7 and the 8. Maybe the 2 mixes in there. Has the most late speed by 6 points. So if the 10's close, it could run by them, Terry. It's all going to be a question of fractions in here. If they go too fast, too slow. If it goes too slow, the 7-horse is likely to go wire to wire, Terry. I think you like the 10-horse, though, to overcome that 7's early jump.
I do. I think that 10's going to be just off the 7. He's horse be with you. is my first pick, and he ran third versus similar in his last race. He has the highest figure at today's distance, likes this distance. He's finished in the money 66% of the races and won 22% of those starts at this distance. And then that number 7, Cristiano's Dream.
Cristiano
Cristiano's
Ronaldo.
Dream.
Yes,
I'm not
the soccer
Italian,
player.
so
He's Portuguese.
I know. Oh, is that Portuguese?
Anyway. Well, no, it's just his name, Cristiano. It's probably Italian.
Wow. Anyways, second choice, he has an early foot and very few speed horses, so he may just last to the finish line. He switches to a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Number 2, Large, finished second in his last race, and the shorter distance should help. And my long shot is number 6, Musk. He has won 2 races at Parx Racing.
Is that your favorite cologne, Terry?
No. No, it isn't. Anyway, he has a trainer, wins 23% of the claiming races has a horse entered in. I'm going to play a trifecta here. I'm going to take a page out of your book and play the 2-7-10 with the 2-7-10 with the 2-6-7-10.
He's convinced that those are the 4 horses. We have the same 4 horses, just a little bit different order. I think that 7 horse, Cristiano's Dream, it's just going to have too much of an early pace advantage for the rest of the field to overcome. And I don't think he's going to get a lot of competition. Number 10 might be able to get it. Horse Be With You. This horse is incrementally getting better from race to race. It is a P horse, so it should sit right off the lead. Does have a very strong late advantage over everybody else. Number 2 is my left arrow horse. Been at Parx 9 times, Terry. 6 of those times it finished second, so why not put it third? Very consistent performer as well. And then finally, no question, Terry's favorite cologne back in the day when he was sock hopping, Musk. Been getting better from race to race. It did have some significant late pace improvement in its last time out. I'm going to take a page out of my own book and do a 50-cent try. 7-10 over the 2-7-10 over the 2-6-7-10 and 11. That wraps up all of the picks for today. Here you can see them all for our Parx card. The first race is in the books. The 3 horse indeed did win. So Terry's alive on his double to start the card today. A lot of comments, folks. I really wish I could speak Spanish, man. I probably should do like the, what is that called? Rosetta Stone. I think, because we have
Rosetta Stone. Yeah.
We have our Babbel, I think, is the one you can do online now and learn. So we have so many folks who do speak Spanish that come on here, and I really would love to be able to communicate effectively. It would be great if they had like Google Translate connected to the comments section here so we could see what they say and then return them. We also would like to do some Spanish programming. So if anybody who speaks Spanish wants to join us, DM me at HRTRich on Twitter. Be more than glad to talk to you and give you access to put on your own show in Español. All right, Terry, race number 2 is about to get going. Let's talk about that one. Here are your picks. I saw folks in the comments and they like the 5 and they like the 1. That's your first pick and my first pick. They're all in the gates. They're about ready to go. Question is, who is going to be the winner in here, Terry? And they're off. Well, it certainly looks like the 6 horse is going to have a little bit of a struggle. He's kind of popped up in the air when the gates opened. The 1 horse has gone to the lead by himself. Well, he's got some company to the outside. Kind of tough to tell who it is. It looks like that is the 2 horse, Bionic Cat, in second. So they're 1-2 out of the gate, followed by the 7 horse in there, which is Blue Sky Tune. No, it's the 8 horse, excuse me. Theandra's Lost. I'm doing just a wonderful job letting everybody know what's going on. Going through the opening quarter in this 6 furlong race in 22-2. Looks like the 8 horse is making up some ground on these guys and could be very difficult to contend with, Terry, because it looks like the jockey's got a nice hold on that horse. The 1 and the 2 are still up front. I got a feeling, though, this 8 horse is going to do us some problems here, Terry. I hope I'm wrong, as the 1 horse is beginning to separate. Yes, indeed he is. So it looks like right now it's going to go 1, 2, or the 8 horse is going to be in there. On the outside, we got the 3 horse making an aggressive move, the 4 horse on the rail. So it's going to go 1, the 4 horse, but the 1 is your easy winner, smoking the field by about maybe two lengths at the end. 1, 4, and 8. Trifecta doesn't hit, Terry, but I do think you probably did hit your double. No, you didn't. Yeah, you did get the double there with the 1, the 2, and the 5. So I was looking at your picks there. The double payoff looks like it's going to be for the 3, the 1. 3-1 double. Hey, for $2, $43.80. So that means, Terry, you're going to get around what's that? 21
something. Yeah.
21.90, something like that.
Yep. That's good.
That's a good way to start the day, Terry.
It is. Yeah.
Indeed. So we're off to a good start there, Terry. Wish that I would have had a trifecta in there, but what can you do? You guys are from Brazil. All right. So then I'm have to learn to speak Portuguese too. So there's too many languages. Funny, a little quick language story, Terry, then we'll go. My family, my last name, Biegelmeyer, is from Germany. I took German class in high school. My grandparents spoke German around me all the time. I can understand what they were saying. Couldn't really speak. They would speak to me in German, and I would answer them in English, right? Because I knew what they were saying. I could translate it. Just couldn't speak it back to them in German. Yeah. So I took German class. Man, I couldn't get a damn thing right on the test. It was horrible. I took Spanish in college. First day in the class, the very attractive teacher said that, what is your name? I said, Rich Biegelmeyer. So everybody introduced themselves. And at the end of the introduction, she said, that is the last thing you're going to say in English in this class. And I said, this is the last day I'm going to be in this class. So I got up and got out of there.
Yeah, I took French in, I think, 7th or 8th grade. It's the only F I ever got in school. So only thing I remember, très bien, merci, and comment allez-vous. So yes. That's all I remember.
Well, my friends used to know how to say like some things to girls in French, just to sound kind of like, like the mystical, or, the what do you call it? I don't know. They like the foreign guy. You know what I mean? But in any case. All right, folks. If you're going to bet today, a little later on in the day, where there's sun and fun at Turf Paradise, there is a link down in the description below for Turf Paradise for guaranteed tip sheet. Please hit that link. Go on over there, and you'll see in race number 1, Big Al's Princess. It's going to be the top pick at 2-1. And when you win some money on Big Al's Princess, there's also a link down below for winning touches. You can get some really nice horse racing related gifts there for every person in your family, from the kids all the way up to the grandparents like Harry. Maybe you're probably going to be great granddad before too long, huh?
Well, I have 4 great grandkids.
4 great grandkids already?
Oh yeah.
Man. I don't have any grandkids yet. I can't wait to spoil them. And then also, if you're going to bet a little bit of college basketball today, Charles gave us Norfolk State yesterday. I honestly don't know how they did. I'll have to look it up. I worked about 16 hours yesterday. So today I get another 16-hour day in there. Terry, before we return tomorrow for Gulfstream Park with Charles and I, it'll be Gulfstream on Wednesday and Thursday because Aqueduct is running on Friday. We'll be off Friday, back Saturday. Not quite sure what. Terry and I will discuss what stakes races we want to cover on Saturday. Any final thoughts before we get up out of here and reunite on Saturday, Terry?
Well, just everybody take it easy, be careful, enjoy life, enjoy your loved ones, and just whatever you do, make sure it turns out really well.
Indeed. So also, while you're here, hit the subscribe button, tell your friends about us. Come over to Horse Racing Radar TV. Check out some of the videos we've been putting up from the tracks we've been visiting lately. We're going to be heading off in April to Oaklawn Park to play a round of golf with Vic Stauffer. We'll record that, have a little bit of a golf contest, the handicapping contest. Looking forward to heading down to Hot Springs, Arkansas. No matter what it is you're doing for the rest of this day, you're playing Parx, you're playing Turf Paradise, a little bit of college basketball, just kicking back in Brazil at the beaches. No matter what it is that you're doing, we certainly hope it ends up in only one place, Terry, and that can only be
the winner's circle.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. Have a fantastic Fat Tuesday. Get ready to give up all your bad habits starting tomorrow.